Welcome into Titans Today. I am Tom Downey. A bunch of very intriguing rumors to get into on today's show, beginning with the idea of trading Ryan Tannehill to the New York Jets. As I'm sure every single person watching is aware, the Jets have lost Aaron Rodgers for the season to a torn Achilles. And some fans, comment section, media outlets have speculated about trading Tannehill to the Jets as a Rodgers replacement. After all the Jets need is average quarterback play, and they'll be a playoff team this year. And Titans fans might be open to doing it because, A, they have a young guy waiting in the wings, actually two young guys waiting in the wings, and Tannehill was bad in week one, which we'll come back to here. Last year, Tannehill didn't have his best stuff. 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. The poor supporting cast, namely the passing game around him, certainly did not help things. In theory, he'd be better off with Garrett Wilson. The Titans could then give the reins to, I would assume at some point, Will Levis, who is quarterback 3 right now, despite being the second-round pick, and Malik Willis was ahead of him. Levis was the emergency quarterback only. So I understand the rationale behind it of get the veteran in there, go win some playoff games with the Jets, and keep everyone's jobs intact, because otherwise that regime still might end up getting fired. But there are issues here. A, the play of Tannehill as of late, but most importantly, the money. Ryan Tannehill has a $27 million base salary this year. The Jets have less than $10 million in space. I don't think that the Jets are going to be willing to take on all $27 million worth of Tannehill's deal. It might even be willing to go on only a fraction of it, with as bad as he looked in week one and as mediocre as he looked last season. So because of that, if you do want to trade Tannehill, you've probably got to eat a significant amount of money to make that happen. So what you're doing really is buying a draft pick. I don't know what that pick would be. I'll throw out a third rounder. The Jets are not giving you their first. They don't have their second to give. It's going to go to the Packers. Maybe a third if you eat the majority of that contract and you basically give Tannehill away for free. Maybe that's a scenario in which it starts to make sense, or at least not for free, but close to it. I don't even know how realistic that is, to be quite honest. It might be too outlandish. Maybe both sides say no because Vrabel wants to win games right now. Tannehill gives him the best chance to do so, and the Jets don't want to commit Tannehill. They want to give Zach Wilson a shot or something. So would you trade Tannehill to the Jets if that's your rough parameters of what maybe give it? Maybe it's less draft pick, less money eaten, whatever. It's the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. T for trade or K for keep. To be quite honest, week one did not inspire confidence in Ryan Tannehill in pretty much any capacity. Obviously I was doing other things during the game. Went back, watched the condensed version, watched the All-22. Boy, the raw numbers are not very good. 47.1% completion rate, 198 yards. That's very different. 198 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. If you like ESPN's QBR, it was 10.3. That sucks. A dead body gets you 0. The film was even worse. Just missed throws, guys open, missing guys, not seeing them. I don't know. Maybe it was just lack of chemistry. Maybe it was week one jitters. Tennessee should have won that football game. Ryan Tannehill cost them that football game. If he had played okay, Tennessee wins by a touchdown or more. They blew that game, a game they should have won because Ryan Tannehill did not play well. We haven't seen good Tannehill, like the good one we saw that got into some playoff success, at least in the playoffs at least, in over a year. That's concerning. So what is your panic level over Ryan Tannehill right now? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Sound off where else but the comment section right now. Now, today's show is made possible by GameTime. If you're trying to go to a Titans game this year, you got to be using GameTime. It is the best spot for last-minute tickets. You don't have to stress about getting the best deal. GameTime has you covered for whatever you're going to. Sports, music, comedy, anything else in between. The GameTime guarantee means you'll always get the best price, And if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, GameTime will credit you 110% of the difference. If you're trying to go to Chargers Titans this weekend, you got to use GameTime, folks. You can get images of your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. 2 taps and you are set. And if you download the GameTime app today at GameTime.co, create an account, use code TitansChat for $20 off your first purchase. You just download the app at GameTime.co, click the profile button, bottom right of the app itself, hit redeem code, plug in Titans Chat, boom, $20 off your first purchase. Now, look, terms do apply, but you can create an account and redeem code Titans Chat for $20 off today. Download GameTime today for last-minute tickets at the lowest price, all guaranteed. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Some other big NFL news, La'el Collins was released by the Bengals on Tuesday afternoon, cut from the PUP list. The move will save the Bengals around $7 million, depends on what the injury settlement cost ends up being. Collins suffered a brutal knee injury last year and has not yet recovered from that, but I saw plenty of speculation of Titans sign him. The O-line has been a problem for a couple years now, it seems like. So let's discuss. Collins was fine-ish last year at right tackle for the Bengals, which is probably the biggest weak point on the Titans' offensive line. Although I do think Chris Hubbard actually played pretty solidly in week 1. I don't know if you... Collins also played left guard, which you have left guard in Peter Skoronski. So I feel like Hubbard would be your replacement there. Like Collins is not a left tackle. It'd be a right side player. Plus, Dylan Radins is banged up right now. So if you could have a healthy Collins, would the medical be able to be good enough that you can sign him? That's my concern that we'll get into more in depth here. But what do you think? Do you want to sign La'el Collins? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me. Where else? Put the comment section. Go vote when I hear what you guys have to say. I am not that interested. The medical is the reason why here. It's playing a massive, massive role in what is going on with La'el Collins. As those of you who don't know, here at Chat Sports, I also cover, amongst other things, our Bengals and Cowboys channels. So I feel particularly adept and qualified to discuss Collins' injury history. 2016, torn ligament in his toe, missed time, came back. 2020, and this is the root of his decline in play since he came back. He hasn't been the same guy as he was at his absolute peak when he was probably a top 5 right tackle in the NFL. He had hip surgery, missed the entire season. Collins' camp will tell you he injured his hip, and that's why he showed up to camp out of shape. Others around the team might tell you he showed up to camp out of shape, and that's why he hurt his hip. Either way, the hip injury happened. Preseason 2020, training camp time, after the Cowboys tried to trade him, couldn't cut him, Bengals signed him, back injury. Late last year, he tore 3 ligaments in his knee. La'el Collins, simply put, is not healthy yet. He is not ready to play football games and probably needs at least a month still, if not more, before he would be able to play. So Collins does not help me right now. If he gets healthy and wants to be maybe a practice squad addition to start this whole thing, sure, I'm down. But he doesn't benefit me right now, so I'm not cutting somebody just to put him on IR for a few weeks. That's not a route I'm going to go. We're getting closer and closer to 8,000 subscribers here on Titans Today. Help us get there so we can do more videos. YouTube.com/Titans Today. Go subscribe right now. I want to wrap up today's show with some conversation on the Derrick Henry usage. Tyjae Spears actually outsnapped Derrick Henry in week 1, 33 snaps to 28. But that doesn't mean it's the Spears show. In fact, it was almost too obvious when Derrick Henry was out there, he was probably going to get the football. 15 carries, 63 yards, 2 catches, 56 yards. Tyjae Spears had just the 4 touches. I'd probably up Derrick Henry's numbers, although I'm not upset about Derrick Henry getting some breathers. He's had a massive workload over the course of his NFL career. I do not view it as a bad thing that you gave Tyjae Spears some more reps. I think you just got to kind of balance those numbers a little bit. King Henry should still be your leading snap getter in week 2 against the Chargers, and he should still have a big workload. Otherwise, I think we're kind of missing the point a little bit in terms of the usage of Henry and Spears. I'm sure Tennessee will get that dialed in this upcoming week.